Hey everybody, it's your boy D.MasterFlex here. It's good to be back. It's been what, 2-3 months? It's been a while. I know it has been, and I'm really sorry about that. But at the same time, I have other stuff going on in life, and this is kind of a side thing, so I'm not really putting most of my focus on it. I have a job, so most of my priority is making sure I don't fuck that up and get fired. It's just a hobby, you know? It's not really my main life. You know what? I've been talking too much. Let me just speak about the video. Today we're doing Dark Souls 1 as Griggs slash Big Hat Logan. The reason I put the slash in is because this is going to be 2 runs. We're going to do a dual run video, and I know I should probably do it like a challenge thing to make it have more fun, more, you know, stuff. But I kind of just wanted to see how, if I were to make a build based on an NPC's items, how good would that be? Not everything has to be hard. I just want to have fun, and honestly, it's kind of a fun thing to do. I'm most likely going to do this for almost all the NPCs in this game. At least the NPCs that actually use items, you know, like, I hate when I have to think of a name of something that I know 100% about and then nothing pops into my damn head. I'm talking about Petrus, I'm talking about Patches, I'm talking about Tarkus, bullshit that happens, alright? But there are characters in this game that don't really have weapons or like movesets. Like, I'm 90% sure that the magic blacksmith in the underground blacksmith, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a moveset. And the saint lady, I forgot her name, the one that sells you miracles, yeah, she doesn't have one either. Enough ranting about this idea that's 100% been thought out by, I don't know, thousands of people before. The Tartus demon wasn't really that hard the first time, other than the fact I got my back blown out by it. The second time was better purely because I ran all the way around the map just so I can get my weapon a +5 straight away. I had a feeling that Soul Arrow wasn't going to cut it out, especially after like the first 2 bosses. Well, this is the second boss, what am I saying? After the first boss, I can already tell that Soul Arrow wasn't going to cut it out, and the only other spell we get is Heavy Soul Arrow. Pull up the stats, please. Or, well, the screenshot, please. Future me. Past me, current me, I don't know who I'm talking to. Ignoring the slight schizophrenia, here's the items we're using today. We're using the Black Sorcerer set, the Mailbreaker, Soul Arrow, and Heavy Soul Arrow. Heavy Soul Arrow is going to carry us greatly, and the Mailbreaker honestly does a lot of damage later on if I actually level up, you know, strength and dex, which I do, but it's too late when I do it. And by too late, I mean I level it up during the DLC, which is, you know, too late because I did the DLC after I got rid of all the 4 Lord's vessels, or lords, whatever they're called. But I'm talking about stuff that happens ahead in the video, so if you want to skip, go ahead. I won't blame you, honestly. Capra Demon actually went out pretty nicely. And this is like my first time using the Meltbreaker because I did plan on doing a rapier run or like a thrusting sword run, but I did not do that because I wanted to do this instead. I'll probably do the thrusting swords later on or something else later on because the thrusting swords are, I can't even say without going thrusting swords. God damn it! Enough complaining about the side, let's complain some more. You see that damage that the Mailbreaker did? That's horrible. You see the damage the Soul Arrow is doing? Yeah, this is like, what, the 4th boss that you would most likely fight later on in the run? Yeah, no, it sucks horribly. If you free Griggs from his area, you're able to get 60 casts of Soul Arrow, so that's good at least. Though you do get like 12 casts of Great Soul Arrow as well, which kind of sucks because you can't really pick up any more unless you go into a New Game Plus run, and you probably could pick up more, honestly. I don't really know. Someone tell me if you can, because then I'll feel like an idiot. If you were paying attention to the last ring, you saw that I didn't really have enough souls to buy the ring. Well, I did grind out souls, and I forgot to record it, so I apologize about that. The belt gargoyles weren't really that hard, and Soul Arrow actually did do a lot of damage, thanks to the ring, most likely. And Heavy Soul Arrow? Damn, that motherfucker did a lot of damage. I mean, a lot. Like, one of them did as much as 3 Soul Arrows in one go. Though, it's kind of in the name, you know, Heavy Soul Arrow, so it's not really that much of a comparison. After ringing the first bell, I'm heading straight to Blighttown so I can grind out some large Titanite shards and get my weapon to +10. Let's go. And it's funny because to give a quick spoiler for later on, the Meltbreaker ends up carrying us through the DLC. Well, it's pretty obvious that it's going to end up carrying us through the DLC because Soul Arrow is not going to boost in damage at all. And my poor baby Heavy Soul Arrow is going to have its back shattered into pieces because of how much it has to carry Soul Arrow. So Meltbreaker is 100% just going to carry for the DLC and the endgame. Oh look, I talked my way through another boss. Shit, my bad. She was fine. She was a good fight. I just stayed away from her at all times. And now we're ringing the second bell. You know what that means? Ceaseless Discharge, the easiest fight in the game. Well, depending on how you fight him, I guess. Quickly moving on from Ceaseless Discharge because he's already dead. We'll deal with the rest of that later. For now, let's go deal with Sen's Fortress and the hell that it is. Honestly, it wasn't really that bad this time. I mean, I did die like twice, but that was mainly my fault for walking off of the edges and not paying attention. And the Xbox 360 controller I'm using is very sensitive, so if I slightly tap to the left, I will launch myself halfway to Kentucky or whatever the fucking saying is. Here's the thing, the Black Sorcerer hat and the Standard Sorcerer hat seem to have their images swapped. I don't know if that's a problem with my game or for like the standard how it actually is, other than immediately getting ground pounded into fine dust by the Iron Golem. Boss fight really wasn't that hard, other than showing how fast Soul Arrow immediately falls off. I mean, look at this damage, it's horrible. But I did manage to knock him off the side, so yeah. Quickly getting molested by these 4 guys, I'm able to head in Orlando, which is very pretty. I do like this a lot. Though if the Iron Golem is any proof of how quickly my spells fall off, Ornstein and Smoke isn't going to be any better. Ornstein and Smoke. Oh boy. First strategy I went with was to take out Ornstein first, because I thought Smoke is a big fat guy, so I'll be able to poke him a lot with my rapier. And Ornstein, I'll probably be able to hit him a lot more with my soul arrow, at least my heavy soul arrow. Though I never really get what I want, because Smoke ended up bodyguarding Ornstein this entire time. He slammed himself in front of Ornstein the entire time. Ornstein was behind him. Ornstein was behind him 90% of the first phase, and it was just why? He doesn't do this. Why did he do it when the one time I don't want him to do it? Though phase 2 was mainly just me stepping back like 3 steps and then just shooting soul arrow. I ended up using every single cast of soul arrow, so yeah, that tells a lot about the spell in itself. But I did kill him, so that's a good thing. Also, we got the Lord Vessel. Up next was the Moonlight Butterfly, though magic makes it a lot easier than it should be, so let's move on already. I'm gonna throw this in here real quick. I ended up taking out the Hydra on my way to Sith. Aw, good shit, who's your good doggy? Not you, because you tried fucking killing me. Yes, you're a bad doggy. Sif isn't really that bad of a fight. Honestly, she kept spinning around. I expected her to do more movesets, but she just spinned and spinned, only for her to eventually die. Anyways, let's move on. Going straight to New Londo Ruins, I run past literally everything I can and get the key. I'm doing all this so I can get the smithing stuff. I forgot what they're called. I'll figure it out eventually. Grabbing the very large ember, I'm able to head straight to the stray demon so I can kill him and grab the doll. Before heading to Priscilla, I quickly kill Guinevere and then kill Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is really easy to kill, so I'm not really going to say much about him. And then now we gotta go to Priscilla. Though I quickly speedrun Priscilla's section because there's not much for me to grab or anything I really want in here. Not to mention Priscilla's really easy to take out, so it doesn't really matter what we do. From Seath to a prison cell, I'm able to head through this area really fast. Mainly because I don't really have anything I want to grab, just like Priscilla's Painted World. I mean, there is the Maiden Soul or like the Firekeeper Soul, but at the same time, I'm not willing to do the pack track. It's annoying and I don't want to walk all the way back. Which doesn't really matter because I end up getting sidetracked. I'm in the catacombs now. Why? Because Seath has resisted the magic, and guess what I'm using? Magic! So now I have to go get the kindling and, you know, kill Nito. And probably the... No, speaking is hard. Separate those. Actually, no, swap those around. Nito, then... Wait, no, goddammit. Pinwheel, then Nito. Fuck, how did I mess up 2 times in a row? Ignoring the aneurysm I just had, we killed Pinwheel pretty fast. I mean, we used Soul Arrow for this. I mean, even for Pinwheel, this is just sad. Oh yeah, we also got the Father Mask. Picking up a ring I tend to forget every playthrough. It's like the best ring I could possibly get when it comes to mid-game, and I always forget to grab it. Though after grabbing the ring, I head straight to Nito, and honestly, Nito wasn't that bad. It's always the skeletons that piss me off during this fight. Though I have to admit, even in this fight, the skeletons weren't that bad. I did use the entirety of Heavy Soul Arrow, and like almost half of my Soul Arrow count. And by standards, honestly, that wasn't that bad. Eventually, he did die. Though, we do get sidetracked again, because remember how we started off going to the Duke's Archives? Well, now we're going down to the Four Kings, and boy is it a doozy. I did this on my first try. I honestly have no clue how I did it. My poise was horrible, though I managed to tank through most of the fights. Thanks to leveling my vigor, they didn't really do much damage to me. I honestly expected them to do way more damage to me per hit. Nope. And my Melt Breaker came in clutch, because I am not going to stand there and wait for Heavy Soul Arrow to cast, let alone Standard Soul Arrow. Oh my god. Going back to my original plan of fighting Seath, I end up having used the Melt Breaker. The original plan was to just go and use spells to see how much damage I can do, but it ends up just being so little damage that I have to use the Melt Breaker. Honestly, my main way of thinking is if I can at least see some yellow, then it's fine. If it's chip damage and it constantly goes down slightly, then no, I'm gonna try and figure out a different way. But if I can get like a little square of yellow, that's good enough. No clue how the explosion didn't damage me, but it's fine, Seath is dead, and now we have to do the boss rush that is the DLC. Or at least the boss rush in my mind, because I don't want to explore. Wait, I completely forgot I have to do the underground area. Demon Fire Sage, pretty easy, he's already dead. Centipede Demon, he kicked my ass, he's already dead. Bed of Chaos, dead. I don't even want to talk about the Bed of Chaos. I hate the Bed of Chaos, and I hate it so much. I hate it. DLC time, baby. It's time for me to finally show you how strong the Mailbreaker is at this point in the game. When doing a sprinting attack with the Mailbreaker, it causes it to hit the Sanctuary Guardian twice in a row, which is a solid amount, especially when it comes down into DLC. That's good. We're talking about the Mailbreaker here, dog. The main strategy I had was wait for him to do his little wind attack, and then rush in from the side and just do the attack, and it'll hit him twice.
Why are you... You're gonna get me killed, you little feline. Ah. Get off my goddamn feet. I'm gonna die. You're blocking my health bar. I literally cannot tell how much health I'm at. Okay, thank you for moving your tail.
Artorias wasn't really that bad. I honestly expected him to be worse, but the only problem I had with him was the fact that the Mailbreaker couldn't stun him out of his power-up mode, or whatever the hell that thing is called. His little aura farming mode. It couldn't hit him out of that, but it did in fact do a decent amount of damage. The thing about the Mailbreaker is it could be so much better if I was able to use crystal weapon on it. What's called magic weapon. Like one of the spells to infuse it with like something. But Griggs doesn't use any of that, so I get what I get and I don't throw a fit. Also, Artorias was pretty fun to fight. Besides the fact that he would blow up on me, he would explode all over my face anytime I tried to break him out of stance. Okay, I take back the words I said, but still, he was fun to fight. It also took me a solid 13 minutes to beat him, so fuck him. Up next, we got Calamite, the best dragon in the game, mainly because there's only 3 dragons and only 2 of them suck. I mean, Seath is an okay fight, but he ain't got nothing on Calamite. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely adore that cutscene, so I'm probably going to put it in every video that I do from Dark Souls 1 every time, just because I enjoy seeing it, and now you have to see it as well. The fight against Calamite did drag out a bit, though it wasn't as long as Artorias' fight, but that's mainly due to me playing passively. I didn't want to die. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't die, though that's mainly because I played it passively. I didn't really know what I was getting into when it came down to Calamite. I mainly just go in there and get solid damage, but this isn't really a build that I can get solid damage at, though like I said before, as long as I get that little yellow chunk, I'm fine. Oh Manus, oh Manus. Honestly, after playing all the DLCs for the other Souls games, besides Dark Souls 2, Manus has to be the most disappointing final boss, in my opinion. In my humble, non-credible opinion. Honestly, most of his moves are okay, his area is okay. I think it's just like when he uses the Abyss magic, that's when it kind of ruins it for me. Because either you dodge out of the way or you get fucked. I mean, that's like Dark Souls in a nutshell, but at the same time, just because something's annoying to me doesn't mean it's a bad fight. It's just a bad fight in my eyes. Manus is a good boss fight, but when it comes to finishing like a DLC and going for the last boss fight, he isn't the best. You will live for now. Now that we got the DLC over with, let's go deal with Gwyn. Honestly, I don't really know what to say here. I was in red tier stone range, and I'm using the Mailbreaker, which is one of the best thrusting swords that you can possibly use for this. Not to mention, it does a massive chunk of his health anytime I hit the riposte. So let's get this over with and start the other run. Starting the second run, we're going as Big Hat Logan, because, well, he has a big hat and his name's Logan, and obviously he's the second caster. It's, you know, sorcerer and their master, yada yada, 2 NPCs, 1 video, doesn't matter. And he's gonna be a New Game Plus run. Also, he's my first ever New Game Plus run, and I don't know how to build for New Game Plus, so I just copied whatever the wiki said his spells are and just called it a day. Also, the weapon he uses is a scimitar. He uses a regular non-infused one, but I decided to run a magic infused version because it scales better with my intelligence and my dex isn't really leveled, but I do flip-flop later on, and I don't really use the scimitar because I mainly focus on magic. I'm gonna allow myself to have more of one spell type purely because, well, not one of spell type, but like one of more than one of spell. Fuck. Speaking is hard sometimes. What I was meant to say was I'm going to allow myself to have more than one of the certain spell that I am allowed to use, purely because they really don't get a lot of cast. Since it's not Dark Souls 3, mana isn't a thing yet, so it's just, oh, you get the certain amount of spells. Not to mention, Crystal Soul Spear goes from 4 casts to 8 casts in total. Plus, if I use the crystal staff, I think that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Crystal Tin Staff. I think that's the name of it. It cuts it down from 8 to 4. So I don't... yeah, I'm gonna allow myself to do it. Ignoring the fact I forgot to record the gargoyle fight, here's the spells I'm using for this run. Is essentially what the wiki says that Big Hat Logan uses throughout the game. Whether it be when you first meet him, you meet him secondary, or when he goes crazy at the end of his questline. Spoiler alert, he goes insane. Though, who am I to judge a madman? For a madman to judge another madman would be a homeless man to call another homeless man a bum. I mean, at the end of the day, we're fucked either way. Going against a stray demon next, purely because I want to get the doll and not forget about it, because I am a very forgetful man. The White Dragon's Breath is horrible. The White Dragon Breath is a horrible spell. It takes forever to cast, and it sometimes, depending on the boss, it doesn't even attack it. Or well, it doesn't even hit it is a better way to phrase it, because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I'm ass. I probably am, but it just goes between the legs, doesn't do any damage, or it goes completely to the left even though I'm locked on. What the hell am I supposed to do to make sure this motherfucker does damage? It doesn't do damage. Now that I have the stray demon done, I'm able to deal with the Capra demon and go back on my regular route. The dogs weren't that bad for the Capra demon, alright? But his downward slam, that does so much damage. I have no clue why it does so much damage. I guess it's, New Game Plus, of course. But look at that shit. It takes out most of my health. What the fuck? Just like the Capra demon, the Gaping Dragon gets a damage boost. Though the Crystal Soul Spirit does a lot of damage to it and I could quickly kill it. Great Soul Arrow, not so much. Great Soul Arrow is kind of a bum when it comes down to it. And I only have it for backup. Though killing the Gaping Dragon wasn't really that hard. Blighttown was harder. Alright, a boss fight, yeah, sure, whatever. Blighttown, even on New Game Plus where I have my health higher than I need to have it, Blighttown is still going to be a pain in the butt. And it kills me like multiple times. I think 3 times I died to fall damage and twice I died to actual enemies. Chaos Witch wasn't really that hard, other than the fact that I almost died straight away to a puddle of lava. Adding to that fact, it barfed a lot. I don't know if it ate something bad, I don't know if I tasted badly. I shower, I swear I do. But it just kept barfing and barfing. At some point I stun locked her with Great Soul Arrow, but she's like the best that Great Soul Arrow is going to do for me. Ringing the last bell, I head straight for Ceaseless Discharge, purely because he's easy to take down and I want the souls. By easy to take down, I mean easy to take down. It literally just takes one move. He's coming over here and then just hit his arm until he falls off. Heading back through Blighttown, I head straight to Sense Fortress. Heading through Sense Fortress as normal, I'm able to use the snake to break the wall and talk to my faker. He's gonna head back to Firelink Shrine. I'll be able to buy some stuff off of him, and then eventually he'll head to Sense Fortress after I get the Lord Vessel. Up next, we got the Iron Golem. He wasn't really that bad, other than the fact that I forgot to kill the giant on the very top, which almost killed me straight away, but it doesn't really matter, because I decided to end up hugging the fog wall and just killing the Iron Golem right there. The Crystal Soul Spear carries me once again, and to think later on I'll be able to cast 8 of them instead of 4, because I'll get the second one. Though unfortunately I do get touched by these little guys. I don't know what they are, demons obviously, but why do they have the brains out? How can they see me, and how do they know where they're flying? Thankfully, I only died once to the Banister this time, though it still pisses me off how it happened. Not to mention, magic is really good against the gargoyles out here. They don't bother me as much as they do in my regular playthroughs. White Dragon's Breath ends up coming in handy for once by killing Lothric. I might have forgot to look after my Firekeeper, alright? I'm sorry. Orange Steam the Smoke time, baby. They kicked my butt. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, they kicked my ass badly. Like, that shit stunk. I mainly blame the fact that I've been mainly relying on the magic doing a lot of damage rather than the fact I could time the magic to be able to hit them and have myself safe in the right time. It's not like I'm using the hardest weapon here. I mean, this is magic. It's pretty easy. I'm just saying, I gotta learn the timings when they're gonna do a lot of damage, you know?
Oh, my brain. Thank you for the Lord Vessel. Oh, thank you.
Ignoring that, we're going straight to Nito. Why? Because I wanna. I don't really have a reason, and there's not really anyone I should go to first besides, well, Seath, because I need to do the quest line. But other than that, I think Nito going out first is going to be fine because he's like the easiest in my opinion. Well, besides the Bed of Chaos, but I really don't want to deal with the Bed of Chaos. Oh yeah, we also fought Pinwheel, but he died really fast, so let's just move on. Oh, I also got the Child Mask. I might have also forgot to put down the Lord Vessel, so let's go back. Quick. The actual boss fight wasn't that hard. It was the damn skeletons that were in the arena. Thankfully, I didn't trigger the 2 in the back. I don't think I ever triggered the 2 in the back. I mainly just stick to the main area where you fight him. Though the 3 skeletons were really annoying because 2 of them would survive the explosion and then the other one would die, but then it would come back when I would take out the other 2, which would get me caught in another explosion. Though in the end, I did take out Nito, so that's all that matters. What I should have brought up earlier is how Big Hat Logan also uses a scimitar, and I think I said it at the very beginning of this run, but it's one of my favorite weapon classes in the game, specifically since it's a curved sword. The curved swords in this game are so smooth, I absolutely adore them, and the fact that Big Hat Logan has a scimitar as a secondary is amazing to me. Getting back on topic, the Centipede Demon wasn't really that hard. I also shot off the arm this time, which is something I don't really do, because I just wait for him to get up close to me and then I attack. I did get grabbed by him during the fight, which scared the hell out of me because I completely forgot he can do that. Though, just like those before him, he goes down after a quick fight. I actually did enjoy fighting him this time. Alright, Bed of Chaos time. Let's get this done real quick. I actually beat my record by least amount of deaths this run. I don't know what it is with the Bed of Chaos, but somehow my deaths always go to double digits when fighting him. That's 1, That's 2, and that's 3. Alright, let's go fight a boss that's actually good. Heading to the Duke's Archives, I die straight away because I suck at this game, and then I run past everything. Going to Seath, I'm able to die without getting cursed, thank god. And going straight for the key, I realize I have to backtrack twice, because now I have to go grab the key for the door so I can unlock Big Head Logan's cell, now meaning I have to head to Big Logan, who's now in a different area, and then spend so much souls on him so I can buy the 2 spells that I need. Yay. Though there is good news, because Crystal Soul Spear can be cast 8 times, and Crystal Homing Mask can be cast 10 times. Time for Seath the Bitulous, Seath the Chud, Seath the whatever fucking name I can think of. Seath the Scaleless wasn't really that bad this run, especially since I managed to get into the arena without having to deal with any of the clams. Which is the first, honestly. He has 690 points in magic resistance, meaning I ain't gonna do shit when it comes down to my magic. But thankfully I do have the scimitar, which slightly takes chunks out of his health. Alright, that sucks. Though he did eventually go down, it took around 8 minutes of me just hacking, slashing, and almost getting cursed like 5 times in a row. Yeah, no, this kind of sucked. And I guess I can't really rely on magic that much. What a surprise. Last but not least of the 4 lords, we got the 4 kings. I tried using the scimitar for this fight purely because I thought, you know what, let's mix it up, right? If I just use magic, it's going to be boring. And I do enjoy using the scimitar. It is a good weapon. I greatly enjoy it, but New Game Plus, and especially with the infusion that I'm going with, yeah, it's kind of going to suck. Not to mention, I didn't level any dex. I've just been putting stuff in vigor and endurance. I should have probably focused on dex. And with that, the final lord is down, and that means we only have the DLC left. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick montage of the DLC because I really don't want to speak. Alright, let's go kill Gwyn. Oh wait, yeah, I still have Gwendolyn and Priscilla to kill. Fuck. Alright, there's Gwendolyn and there's Priscilla. Alright, let's finish this. Now that we feed all the souls to the vessel, we can go fight Gwyn, and we can finally end this damn run. Yeah, no, Gwyn wasn't really that hard, though he never really is that hard, and magic kind of does a lot of damage to him. You think he'd be somewhat resistant, but no, magic does a lot of damage to him. I was doing massive chunks, Crystal Soul Spear, carrying me like always, the absolute goat, and he's dead. That was anticlimactic, though it kind of really is, right? I mean, his boss fight, this big bad Gwyn, and then at the end, he's just some old man holding onto the fire. He doesn't want his age to end, and yet here he is, dying as we link the flame once more. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one in like 4 months because I suck at this.